Okay, it's 7 o'clock, let's call the meeting to order. I'll call show that all councilors are present. If you're able, please rise. Pledge allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, thank you all. First item is the agenda, deletions or additions. Staff, council.
I have none.
The action.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
We have a motion,
I'll second.
second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any, one chance for questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Consent agenda. Are there any items that anybody wishes to discuss further on the consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to pull 3.8. I just have a quick question, little quick discussion
Okay, you want to pull it then?
and move it.
Okay. And to,
So I can
I suppose that we could do it after the public hearing.
Sure.
If it's all business, I guess, then it could be, or,
Just put it as 7.05
okay.
under new business.
3.8. Okay, anybody else? Okay, I'll accept action.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda
But 3.8.
with 3.8 remove for later discussion.
second.
Motion and second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that carries. Open forum. If anybody wishes to speak to any item that is not on the agenda, at a 3-minute limit, we cannot discuss legal items or concerns. Don't see anybody running up to the table. We'll move on to public hearings.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Glenn Meadowcraft has a tip that was issued, the tip note was issued. However, we just had a small amendment that we still needed to do for the developers agreement to extend the job deadline out 1 year to January 31st, 2027. That requires a public hearing, so that's what's before you today.
So the action is for the extension to that whatever date is.
January 31st, 2027.
Okay, I guess we gotta go through the motions. We need a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Motion,
A second?
second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is open. Somebody. Okay, we're getting no, response from the public hearing, so we will close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion and second to close the public hearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. So we need action on the amendment to the development agreement. Anybody in council have any questions about it?
Is it something we're recommending, staff is recommending?
Staff is recommending this.
Yeah, that's obviously okay with it in there.
Yes, they requested.
Oh. All right,
I'll make a motion to approve the amendment to the development agreement with Element Group, extending the, sorry, lost the spot. The job deadline 1 year.
I'll second.
you have a motion and a second. Any more questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that carries. We have no old business. Okay, we will move on to 7.05, which is the item we moved from the consent agenda. So I believe that was your counselor.
Yeah, it's, the item is to authorize advertising the position of firefighter to hire up to 4. Let me just go up to the memo.
and I know we've talked about this, it probably comes up every time, but, I just want to make sure that we are, still feeling the need. I mean, I know we agreed to have 40 firefighters on the department years ago. I mean, that's the kind of was have been the magic number. But I just want to make sure that that's still what we feel like we need, because that agreement was made, previously before, the removal of Blue Hill Township. We have a lot less lift assists, and a lot less medical calls and stuff. And I'm not sure what the number, since I don't sit on the fire advisory board anymore, I don't know what, like, the number of calls we're at. Where we're at compared to previous years. I'm just wondering if 40 is still our magic number, or is that something we can lower with those 3 changes? I just know that hiring firefighters is there's a pretty big cost involved in that. And so I'm just curious if we still feel that the 40 is necessary versus like.
Well, that's a valid point. The needs kind of changing, just because of the firefighters, the hiring pool. People are not or firefighters now, the newer ones are making minimal calls because of busy lives and everything. As far as call volume, we are down. I think we're probably around 270 now, something like that. But with the 2 stations plus the other unit out there, Princeton, we still need to staff it, have enough staff show up.
Okay, why not?
Why not? And then we have the unit out at Princeton. So, I think it's a good conversation to have. That's kind of conversation that is going on throughout the paid on call, area. Comes down to having enough to show up. We have many more that make between 30 and 40%, because it's 30% to make your percentage. We have a lot in that 30 to 45%, whereas 15 years ago, you had a lot at the 65, 70%.
Yeah.
Lives are busier now, so like I said, it's a very valid question, but I don't think we can back off now, just plus the age of the firefighters that are going to the high percentage firefighters are getting older.
Yeah. Well, and that's fine. I mean, if you have a lot of people that are only at like 30%, which is the minimum, or the minimum, that's required. I understand that. I just think it's something we should look at and think about and talk about each year. Just to make sure that we're not, spending money that's not necessary. We don't necessarily need 40 people still.
And what we're trying to reach is 38, be our maximum, and keep 2 spots open in case somebody drops in our lap that is fully trained, ready to go.
Okay,
So at least that's my opinion,
okay.
and that probably the
I
one
think
that
your opinion
matters.
matters,
And
so
it's the one that matters right now. But
I would agree with that, and
So-
I would feel good about that. I just want to make sure that we keep discussing it. Just because it was set up 40 years ago doesn't necessarily mean
Correct.
that it should always stay.
Totally understand.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I am the every board, and Michelle can help me out here. I don't think we've ever had any real discussion about that, have we? At least since I've been on anything. It hasn't brought up the calling.
No, and, as with any of our departments, watching trends and, there are other departments that are looking at duty crews and other types of ways to provide services. And Steve and I have had some conversations about, what will the PFRD look like in 5 and 10 years, and what is the constitution of the department in terms of paid on call versus duty crews versus something else. And, it's, none of us have a crystal ball, but, we're very cognizant of and it's true for any of our positions. Yes, the equipment costs for the fire department is significantly higher, but there's a significant cost to train any employee and then retain them. And so trying to balance being able to respond to calls versus costs and those types of things. So Steve and I have had a number of conversations about what's our best crystal ball looking forward type thing for I mean, volunteerism is difficult, whether you're a paid on call firefighter or you're someone who is volunteering for a nonprofit. So, you know, it's,
Getting tough all over. And
yeah, so it's, I mean, we have to be cognizant of the fact that the department today may not be the same department in 5 years. I mean, in terms of how the staffing is organized. So the council will have the conversation, but Steve and I are constantly having the conversation about that and budgets and things like that. So.
I think the point about being, all my words, proactive, so you don't get stuck in a reactive position, because we know there are people gonna be retiring and they're gonna be, so I guess I'd rather err on the side of being proactive than get caught with your pants down.
The average career now for a firefighter, paid on call firefighter, is 7.5 years.
So they don't even make it to 10 to be successful.
Not the average.
That's interesting. Used to be 30 years, you'd have to. Or say, what's going on? Why are you not retiring yet? I don't know if there's some type of incentive either to get people to, I know 30% is like the minimum. You can't not show up to less than that. If there's any type of incentive as far as, I don't know, that's something, I'll pick your brain about later. You do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Steve's gonna be your subject matter expert. I might have an opinion, but I don't think it holds as much water.
And I don't even know if my idea is allowed or not, but
Anybody else have any input?
Could that be a further conversation, just for educational purposes, succession planning, brainstorming, like a study session in the future?
Yeah,
Part of a study session.
yeah, we have, the next 2 study sessions will be budget related.
Yeah.
So I think we can have some broad, high level policy conversations somewhat at the same time. But just like what we put together for Todd's department, at some point, Steve and I are gonna work on a similar sort of succession planning document for his department. He's working on, with his staff, the whole conversion from election of officers to selection of officers. So this is kind of fitting right in with that whole future, what does the department look like kind of discussion, so.
Anybody else? Action?
make a motion to approve 7.05.
I'll second.
Have motion and second. Any more questions? All in favor, say aye.
I
Over. That carries. So we'll move on to 7.1. So vacancy on the EDA. Mayor Stacy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. We do have an EDA board position to fill. Eric Mattice moved out of the area, so, and put in her resignation. And so we do have an applicant that I believe is in the office, right here, just in the city council chambers. Shauna, did you want to give any, this is her application?
Yep,
her application. So we can have a couple members or 2 members, that live outside the city limits. Then Erica was filling that position.
Is that something we can just fill like this without advertising? Like, I'm all on board with it, but I'm just curious if that's something we can do without.
As long as you have a pending application and, an interested party, if Ms. Phillips hadn't expressed an interest and expressed a willingness to be appointed, then yes, we would have
I just
advertised.
want to make sure we're not doing anything wrong.
No.
And that is obvious by her application. She wants to get involved in things, and that's very commendable. She is serving on the airport board, and there'll be no conflicts with her serving on both. They're both kind of every other month sort of thing, basically, in different nights, so. So, need a motion.
Just a random question as I was reading it. It said you were present at the meeting when the resignation happened and were then nominated, or were you recruited? Like, how did you find out about the opportunity?
My daughter-in-law is on the
Oh, okay.
Economic Development Board, so she told me about the opening, and I had applied for it originally, but you had picked other applicants, and
Okay.
so I went there for it.
I remember this last time around, we had the luxury of actually having more people that have vacancies, which usually is the other way around. She got the airport, I don't know if she had preference or not, but she got, so, but,
Grateful for your help.
yeah,
Is the
absolutely.
date on her application, the term end date, it says 12/31/27, but on here it says 12/31/28. It'll be 20.
Well, she's still in the term, so it'd be till the end of it.
I think the 27 references the airport board.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to appoint, the Harry Phillips to the EDA board to fill Eric Matisse's term ending December 31st, 2028.
Do we have a motion?
Second?
You have a second? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that carries. Thank you, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay,
I clap. I don't know if everyone else.
all right. A very simple two-sentence discussion on this one.
Oh, sorry.
You're taking that.
Yep.
Somebody better.
Yeah, Minnesota paid leave. As the council's aware, we've talked about Minnesota paid leave and study session. This is a program that begins January 1st of 2026. The state adopted it. It's taken 2 years for the state to get their act together. We can opt out of paying into the state, so we have received a premium proposal from Principal, who covers our dental insurance and our life insurance. We're gonna have a very minor cost savings going through them, but I believe that will get better service for our employees. The statute requires the employer to pay at least 50% of the premium cost. We could elect to pay more. The employees would then be responsible for the other up to 50%. In speaking with our my peers, most cities are requiring a 50-50 split. So my recommendation to the council is that we impose the 50-50 cost share with employees for the Minnesota paid leave premium amounts, and they will be a premium or a payroll deduction from employee payroll checks.
Okay. I mean, this doesn't affect any present contracts or anything, or
No,
you know, my only thoughts.
correct. We'll have to execute a memorandum of understanding with the two bargaining units. Actually, by doing a 50-50 cost share, it actually does reduce the tax implication on the part of employees, because if we were to pay 100%, then the benefit of the premium becomes taxable, considered taxable, a taxable fringe benefit. So,
Oh, they're actually better off if we
correct.
do 50-50.
That pushed me that direction. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Right, don't hold me to this, but I think this is what we did out of the public utilities. I think somebody said.
I believe that would be, that's, what that would seem.
And when I deal with the, bargaining units up there.
Yeah,
Right.
I would agree with it.
So that needs action.
Correct, it needs a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve the 50/50 cost share on the Minnesota paid leave premium.
We have a motion,
I'll second.
we have a second. Any further discussion? For now, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that carries.
All right.
All right, move on to the next one. Contribution of health insurance premiums.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, so we've also talked about health insurance premiums. The increase over 2025 premium costs for 26 will be 18.37%. Past discussions, the council indicated a desire to not have our employees have to pay for health insurance. And so in order to achieve that desire, we need to make an adjustment in the family contribution for 2026. We could also make an adjustment to the single coverage. However, our current single coverage contribution covers, and you can see on the attached or the enclosed chart, the comparison between 25 and 26. Essentially all of our employees who elect single coverage, our current contribution will cover their 2026 premiums. The result of the premium increase versus our contribution means that the amount of money that we can place in their HSA will be reduced. In terms of family coverage, the goal was to increase the premium or increase the contribution sufficient that only the two groups that currently pay some amount of the premium out of pocket would be the only ones impacted by the premium increase. So not knowing any better way to do it, I just took all 6 premiums and then divided by 6, got the average, and that became the family contribution. So you can see the resultant impact to our employees. Again, for some plans, the HSA contribution would go down. In a couple of them, they actually go up for families, but it's not by a significant amount. So my recommendation is to adopt the 2 contribution levels, the $835.61 for single, those that take single coverage, and $1,788.59 or 59 cents for family coverage.
Okay. I know you're on the committee, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Do you have anything to add or?
No, just that I think Michelle did a good job asking our insurance people to give us some quotes and stuff. And in order to reduce it down to 15, which is what we were hoping we can do, and she put it in the memo, but it took away a lot of options for the employees, and we didn't want to do that either. So, this is basically the same insurance that the employees have currently. And they're comfortable with it, and I think everybody's been really happy with it.
I believe so. Plus we still have in a budget that we're covering the Kavira, which is home health visits and or some home test. And I think those that, for the most part, those that have utilized that service have also been pleased for the most part, I believe. But yes, the proposed plans are essentially exactly the same last year to this year. The only differences are that the federal IRS changes the deductibles and the deductible levels. But other than that, the out-of-pocket options or the out-of-pocket maximums for single and family coverage, depending upon which version you select, are exactly the same. So really the only thing changing from last year to this year are the deductibles.
And of course, health insurance is everybody, my 20+ years in public service is always had a county in here. I mean, it's just part of life, I guess. Do the best we can, so.
Well, Mr. Mayor, if I can add, I think that this is now the second time the committee's done a really good job of trying to look at every possible avenue to be mindful of everybody, whether it's a single person to a family, so I mean, again, this is a good, Michelle does a lot of the work to put everything together, but the committee has a good conversation to allow for us to try to come back to the table with something, so it worked out well, again.
Yeah, I know, I commend all of you for all the work you do, so. And personally, I don't have a stake in it, but I pay over $700 a month for my retirement health insurance.
I'll be eating my 23% increase at work this year. It's awesome that the city's able to do this. I think it says a lot for our employees.
Yeah, all our taxpayers do it, but it's
Absolutely.
what we have to do with employees and yeah, and I know the budget, of course, is not final, but should we approve this, this number is in the budget, will be in.
Correct. I budgeted higher, for the preliminary levy. So, this should cover, we had a small increase in dental, but it was very minor, like insurance didn't change. So, with the reduction in what I proposed or predicted for the paid family leave premium and the amount that I budgeted for the health insurance increase, we've got money to play with and we should be able to cover everything and hopefully still reduce the amount going for the levy.
Okay, good. You do all you can, then we'll have. So is there any further discussion? Not to get a motion?
I'll make a motion to, establish 2026 city contribution of health insurance as noted in the memo.
And a motion,
I will second.
and we have a second. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that's carried. Okay, looks like we got some excess money.
Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell the court.
Tell the paper, is that what you said?
No, the police.
Oh.
I've been on the agenda.
Um,
You guys right now.
Jeez.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, so we do certify TIF District 3.5 due to its statutory expiration. However, as it was not timely, we ended up getting TIF funds given to us. So working with Northland and the state, we returned the excess funds that were collected. And then the funds are then redistributed to the city, the county, school district. So it's like this, where's the shell kind of thing. Currently, we've receipted those funds into the general fund under miscellaneous income per our general financial advisor. However, those funds should go out of miscellaneous income and into a different fund per Abdo's advice. Julie, who's our on-site person when she comes or when we email her, has noted that these funds are typically go into a capital fund. We have created a second fund for park improvements separate from the park dedication fund so that we can keep those monies separate. And I'm recommending that we move the $13,337.76 into that park improvement fund for future park improvements and whatnot.
So what you're asking, just this particular one, so say we.
Correct.
Down the road.
Yep, we're gonna see this again because we decertified about 3 districts a couple of years ago, so we're gonna have some more coming. But the council needs to acknowledge that this is what we want to do with the funds.
Had to be the second time to make sure that all the other taxing entities did get their.
Correct, this was our portion of,
That's the first time.
Yep. this was our portion of what we sent back to the county, then they sent our portion back. It's very convoluted. But that's what happens under a TIF district.
Yeah, well, it's a wonderful tool to have, but it can get a little administratively intense, I'm sure.
Yes.
So, okay, anybody have any questions, comments, suggestions?
No, I think that's a good spot to put this.
What about anything like maybe updating some things with like the Light Up Princeton? Is that something, or the refill the wine and spirit grant opportunity?
So the wine and spirit grant funds come directly out of the profits from the liquor store, and it's actually a line item in the annual liquor store budget.
Mhm.
So we don't have to worry about refilling it. We just start over with the new 25,000 at January
Yeah.
1st. In terms of Light Up Princeton, the chamber has taken that on pretty much completely. We, as a city, still provide what I would call ground support services. So we help them install it, take it down. And we might need to purchase miscellaneous supplies in order to help them, but they're reimbursing us. And again, that's a line item in the park budget. So it's really, Kim at the chamber is doing phenomenal work working with, last year they added the service emblems for the branches of the military. This year she's doing a contest for a small child to design a light to put out there. So Kim is doing a phenomenal job at the chamber, actually building that program. And so, that's not to say that they couldn't come to the city and request something, but this money will go into this park improvement fund for the park board and Bob to, replace equipment and other projects. That's part of the capital improvements budget that we'll be looking at, so.
Well, and she does come to us because we help pay for the volunteers.
Yep.
Yeah, we have given extra money on top of their normal contribution.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
Princeton and everything too.
Yes.
So one of the reasons why I think this is a good fund is because there's a lot of park improvements that would like to be made. I sit on the park board, so I hear all the ideas and questions and suggestions and all that stuff. So currently on your public utilities bill, you'll see, it'll say franchise fee and it says $1.50. And that franchise fee right now is going to pay for parks, park stuff. Well, that is gonna have a sunset clause
This year,
the end of this year.
I believe so.
There was a 10 years, if I remember right.
No, it was only a 5-year deal.
5 year, yeah. And I know what's coming up, so we need to, that's a conversation we have to have
In
pretty
the
quick
future, yep.
to decide if we want to do it again, and if so, what do we want to use those funds for? And I know what I think we should do, but anyways, that's for another conversation. So that money is going to stop for the parks. And the only other money they really get in, is from dedication funds when somebody builds something, and there really hasn't been a lot of that coming in either, so this is a fund that's gonna, I think it's a good spot to put it.
Yeah, and the TIF money is general public money, so it's going into the parks is second amenity in my interpretation of my, how it works. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, I guess. And again, it's just for this particular one, so as they come in down the road.
Correct. As they come in, I will not take this as precedent. when we get monies redistributed after we distribute them back, I will make sure I bring it back to the council, because you could choose to put this in the general capital fund. I'm shaking his head over there.
You see blinking lights all
Yeah.
over.
So I'm not gonna assume that this is precedent. I'm just gonna, this is for this TIF district, and as we get future dollars back,
You can advise.
I will bring it back to the council and you can select.
We can't speculate what kind of dollars in the future will be coming.
Well, if you noticed on the bill list,
Yeah.
10,000 or
Yeah.
whatever.
if you noticed on the bill list, we have a couple of hefty payments that are going out from a couple of 2 or 3 TIF districts that were decertified. So a portion of those funds are gonna come back to us, so that's why I'm saying there's gonna be a couple more.
There was one I was definitely eyeballing. I'm like,
Yeah.
that count too?
Yeah, yeah, the one, I think the Quick Trip was like
Yeah,
83,000 or 86,000. So, I don't know how much of that's gonna get distributed to the county and the school district, but there'll be a pretty good sized chunk coming from that too, so. But I will bring that back and let the council decide. I will likely make the same recommendation. However, you're within your rights to tell me to put it elsewhere.
What's likely?
Anywhere we. Funny.
Yes.
Well, there again, if it's a bigger item, we can always defer it, park it someplace and defer it to a study session sometime too, or something, or part of it, if we have,
Yeah,
something like that takes a lot of, can take a lot of discussion. And we've all, I'm sure we've all got ideas and plans, but
possibly.
I know I do. So, okay, we need action on this particular one.
I'll make a motion to use the returned TIF funds in the amount of $13,337.76. Be redistributed to the Park Improvement Fund.
Okay, we have a motion,
second.
we have a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed? That carries.
On behalf of Park Board, myself, thank you.
We have good parks and they get a lot of use.
Mhm.
Okay, Bill,
I got my question answered. Anybody else?
I have a question.
sure.
Granite City Jobbing is on there 4 different times. 2 with the same amount, 1 with 0, and 1 with the both combined. All the same check number, but on there 4 times.
So I can answer part of that question. So the void was a system issue. Mandy was attempting to actually fix an issue we've had. And, we had a little bit of problem with Granite City Jobbing. They got a little excited when we said we wanted to pay them by ACH. Except they decided to pull the money instead of us pushing them the money. So we've been dealing with them. Yeah. I think you signed some paperwork or something before, whatever, but, so we've got that all squared away. So that's,
I'm sorry, it was the vendor number that was the same. It is 4 separate, 3 separate checks and 1 ACH.
Yep. So it's just a cleanup of their mess and us trying to convince them that, yes, they paid and we paid them and they returned their money, and yeah, it was just a bit of a mess for about the last 3 weeks. So.
It's jobbing, not good jobbing.
Yeah.
Some of the liquor vendors are a little unique
Yes, they are.
in order to say that
Yes, they
piece, so. Anyway, so that's the answer to your question, so.
Satisfactory?
That answered my question.
Anybody else have any questions? Not do your thing.
I move to approve the October 23rd, 2025 check register containing checks 89834 to 89852 and ACH payments 251614 to 251632 and 251634 to 251648 and 102-320-251 to 102-320-252 in the amount of $291,261.90. And the pay period 21 check register containing checks 252-11001 to 252-11095 in the amount of $206,658.52.
Motion,
I'll second.
we have a second. Any more questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. You know, checks I signed will be good. Okay, administrator's report.
Couple things going on at the airport. They are gonna start the fence project on Monday. MinDOT is working on relocating the AWAS. So I've attempted to, inform the folks at the airport to the best of my ability. We're still working on the subdivision ordinance. We'll be looking at budgets next couple of months. We met with LMC regarding cybersecurity. They provided a letter summarizing the meeting and a variety of topics. Three of us attended the Friends of the Library meet and greet to celebrate the library's 30th anniversary. We had a pretty long discussion with them on the budget that was adopted by the East Central Regional Library System, and whether or not counties are gonna help fund the cut in staffing hours. We received notice of a quiet title action by Chrysler Light Church, or Catholic Parish, I guess. They just are doing some legal title work cleanup, gaps and overlaps in the legal description. And because we might show up somewhere in the 40-year title search and we are an abutting landowner, we received notice as required by the statute. And then we'll see the feasibility study report for 3rd Street probably on the November 13th council agenda, and the space needs study will be likely presented in late November to PUC and council. And then there's a longer list of meetings and reminders. That's all I got.
Okay, and, I just wanted to thank Nick. I have a little history with the library board. I served as a regional library board for the 8 years I was on the council, and to say the least, it can be kind of a circus. You know, I guess I can't speak for Catherine again, but I'm sure they were very appreciative of us being there.
They seemed happy to have us there.
So, and it's good we were there, so. I don't know, there's much we can do with the regional, you know, the counties right now. It's a challenge because some counties don't want the library at all, and some do, and it's, I could be here all night talking about that, so. But it's fun. Well, thanks for you guys coming.
Did I miss the meet and greet part?
I don't think they kind of organized it
Yeah,
that
they
way. I
were-
think the meet and greet was when you came in the door and they asked you if you wanted coffee
Yeah,
or
the-
cider.
I grabbed a coffee and they're like, have a seat,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Next thing to
Okay.
me.
Yeah, they missed the whole, I mean, the invite said that there was gonna be a tour of the
Right.
library and they just went straight to there.
okay,
So,
just making sure I was on
Well,
time.
could I ask that question?
Yeah.
I do have a lot of history there, so that was a little easier for me to, I guess, pick up on some of that chatter, but.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else have any questions for Michelle? All righty, committee reports. Utilities did have a meeting last week because of Keith is in the process of moving, so we moved it up and Well, I didn't remember what we talked, nothing significant for sure, we're getting our budget in order.
Think budget, and you had a final pay or a pay estimate for the CAT plan, I think was on the agenda.
I think letting bids for the
Mhm.
next period or something.
Yeah.
And we're anticipating the, CP study too, so we're gonna want to put the commissioners on that, so. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So otherwise, I haven't even contacted Keith and then leaving him alone, I'm sure he's busy. That's all I have.
Okay, I, don't have a park board meeting till next week, but I had a chamber meeting this week. The chamber is busy, coming up with ideas and planning and stuff for the Rum River Festival. They start this early. Actually, it's pretty crazy, but there's a lot of pieces and stuff. It's manufacturing month, so they're busy doing lots of stuff with, a lot of our businesses in town, which is great. And I don't know if anybody saw it, but This is Princeton, which is what the lodging tax at the hotels helps to pay for tourism. And so that's one of the things that came of that. This is Princeton. They did a podcast with the superintendent, and he talked about the why they're asking for money and what the money will go to and everything. So it was really informative, I think. I hope a lot of people will listen to it. So they'll understand better what the money is.
Yeah, I've been doing it while he was here. He's been doing a great job getting them.
Well, it's just unfortunate not a lot of people go to meetings to hear.
And I hear that in public, we can show the information out there, but we can't make you read it, it doesn't work, so.
Yeah.
But it's not that the information is not out there,
Yeah.
it is out there. But we try, that's just life, so.
That's.
We had an EDA meeting, that I had notes written down for, I promise. I have absolutely very much enjoyed that meeting. We had a roundtable discussion about the strategic plan. I mean that in all sense of no sarcasm whatsoever. I very much liked it. We had a roundtable discussion about the strategic plan, what the EDA is supposed to do, what it does. And had a lot of encouragement to go to the manufacturing month things, be more involved and get more into the community that way. But yeah, no, it was good. We didn't have any technical agenda, just the round table. We didn't have anything brought to us other than that, but it was a good meeting.
Planning commission meeting with Campbell. Guessing they either had nothing or they're working on something really big for us. We'll see.
They'll do something really big, but it's not for a while.
There's nothing good, that's not,
Something fun.
there's nothing going on with it.
Right.
Could be.
Mr. Mayor, if I could add,
Sure.
on the end of this manufacturing month, tomorrow out at Glen Metalcraft, we will actually have one of our pieces of equipment that the city uses on a regular basis.
Oh.
They make a part at Glen Metalcraft that their crew was out and said, that looks familiar. And so they asked to have our truck out there, so we cleaned it up and
Good.
it'll be,
It'll be a pretty big event.
well, it should, and I think it, it goes to the businesses here in town is that those parts are shipped to Florida and distributed throughout the country. So we have a great backbone in this community to manufacture. It's just nice to see that they recognized it and said, did you bring that up? Absolutely.
And most of us here remember Stephanie, our
Yeah.
maybe predecessor, and I think she kind of runs it, don't she, or one of the head people were.
Yep, she, is on the committee, I'm on the committee, she's on the committee, so we're posting that tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, I plan on being there, so. Even breakfast. if you-
Yes, I was gonna say also breakfast.
Yep, from Heavenly Fresh. I'll be there bright and early, and to set it up for you.
Good to hear that we're gonna have that multiple phones there too. Nice. Cause there'll be people from, like it's ECR, East Central region, right, kind of,
Central
or
region, yeah.
so like 5 counties or?
Yep.
But there'll be quite a showing of people, I'm sure. Not really a committee report, but there's gonna be a Halloween costume contest Saturday at the pumpkin chunkin thing. And there, as of right now, I know there's 4 judges. There
Oh,
may be more, but there might be myself, Administrator Michelle, and then Marty.
As
Either you or
Ferret.
somebody said Marty, so.
yes, as Ferris, the ferret,
Yeah,
so he'll be in costume too. So,
Be warm.
and I guess my personal concern is I don't want a mother coming after me for that picture.
that'll be fine.
I'm
I'm sure the votes on the costumes will be anonymous, so.
But it'll be on the same Michelle.
Yes. I do not.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion to adjourn with the second. All in favor, say aye.
Right?
Opposed? We are adjourned.